Does it sting, 49ers faithful? That gnawing feeling in your gut that tells you even the most beloved stars, the very pillars of your championship dreams, might not be safe in the relentless, unforgiving grind of the NFL's business side? Because after a 2024 season that ended not with a Super Bowl parade, but with a profoundly disappointing 6-11 record, the San Francisco 49ers are facing a brutal reality. This isn't just about excess and OS anymore. It's about dollars and cents, about a tightening salary cap, and about the agonizing decisions that could reshape the very identity of your beloved team. How does a franchise, built for glory and steeped in a rich history of winning, navigate this treacherous financial landscape without tearing apart the very fabric of its contention? The San Francisco 49ers, a team that has consistently been on the cusp of hoisting the Lombardi Trophy, finds itself at a critical crossroads. After a 2024 campaign that fell far short of the sky-high expectations, culminating in a disheartening 6-11 finish, General Manager John Lynch and his astute front office are staring down a fiscal cliff. Their mission is clear, yet incredibly complex. Maintain a championship-caliber roster while simultaneously grappling with a salary cap that feels less like a flexible guideline and more like a suffocating python. The intricate balancing act they're forced to perform will have profound financial and competitive implications, not just for the immediate 2025 season, but for the franchise's long-term trajectory. Adding another layer of immense pressure to this already intricate puzzle is a monumental $265 million extension recently inked by quarterback Brock Purdy. While an absolutely necessary and deserved move to secure their franchise signal caller for the foreseeable future, it's a decision that inevitably pushes the Niners to explore every conceivable avenue for cap relief, including the painful, often heartbreaking, prospect of trading away established and even beloved players. As it stands, the 49ers currently possess just under $46 million in available cap space. That number might sound somewhat comfortable at first glance, until you factor in the staggering, almost unbelievable reality. They carry far and away the most dead money in the entire NFL, exceeding a staggering $93 million. This isn't merely a challenge. It's an existential crisis for a team desperately trying to keep its championship window from slamming shut. Considering their current fiscal quagmire, coupled with the existing makeup of their star-studded roster, the whispers of potential trades are no longer whispers. They're growing louder, echoing to the halls of Levi's Stadium. Here are 3 potential trade candidates for the 49ers heading into training camp this summer, each representing a different facet of the difficult, often gut-wrenching choices that lie ahead. First, let's confront the most emotionally charged, the most unthinkable, the move that would send shockwaves of disbelief and frustration to the entire Niner empire. Wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk. Just 6 short months ago, Aiyuk put pen to paper on a massive 4-year, $120 million deal, a clear testament to his undeniable talent, his explosive playmaking ability, and his absolutely crucial role in the 49ers' offensive scheme. Trading him now would, without question, provide significant immediate financial relief, a desperately needed breath of fresh air in their suffocating cap situation. But the emotional costs and the practical implications on the field are immense. Aiyuk is currently rehabbing a serious knee injury, having torn both his ACL and MCL in Week 7 last season, a devastating blow that prematurely ended his year with just 25 catches for 374 yards. This injury, of course, casts a dark cloud of doubt over his immediate impact and, understandably, affects his trade stock. Teams will be wary of his recovery timetable. However, let's not allow recency bias to cloud our judgment. Let's remember the player Aiyuk was just a year prior. In 2023, he exploded onto the national scene with a career-best 75 catches for 1,342 yards and 7 crucial scores, earning well-deserved second-team All-Pro honors. He's a solid route runner, a true YAC, yards after catch, specialist, and a dynamic playmaker who is just now entering the absolute prime of his career. With an All-Pro pedigree and several years remaining on what would be a team-friendly contract once he's healthy, Aiyuk represents a high-upside acquisition for any wide receiver-needy team, particularly those with a patient outlook. He's a true difference maker who, once back at 100%, could transform an offense. The dilemma for the 49ers is agonizing. Do they sacrifice a cornerstone of their passing game, a player who embodies their offensive identity, for immediate financial flexibility, or do they hold on to a player who, when healthy, is undeniably elite, hoping he can return to form and justify his massive contract? It's a gamble either way, a high-stakes decision that could very well define their entire season, and perhaps their next era. Next, we turn our gaze to a living legend, a future Hall of Famer, a player who has anchored the defensive line with unparalleled dominance for years, Trent Williams. He remains, without question, one of the absolute best offensive tackles in the NFL, a force of nature who consistently elevates the play of everyone around him, protecting Brock Purdy's blind side with a ferocity and skill rarely seen. But even legends are not immune to the cold, hard realities of the salary cap. Williams carries a truly massive $21.1 million cap hit for 2025, a figure that is the highest among all offensive linemen in the league. Moving Williams would undoubtedly unlock significant payroll flexibility, providing the kind of desperately needed breathing room the 49ers are craving. However, the cost would be immeasurable, losing elite generational protection for their young quarterback, Brock Purdy, and creating a void on the offensive line that would be nearly impossible to fill adequately. A remarkable 13-time Pro Bowler, Williams joined San Francisco in 2020 and has since served as the undisputed anchor for the left side of their formidable offensive line, a key component of their dominant rushing attack. But time, as it always does, marches relentlessly onward. At 37 years old, Williams is undeniably in the twilight of his illustrious career. A trade would allow the 49ers to add some valuable future draft capital and free up crucial cap space, while also allowing an aging, albeit still elite, player to move on to a new challenge. Despite his age, however, Williams remains an incredibly attractive trade candidate. He is a universally respected veteran, a true locker room leader, and a player who elevates play in the trenches like few others can. For teams, especially contenders, needing immediate reinforcement and a proven, high-impact commodity at a premium position, Williams will be an invaluable asset. The thought of trading him is heartbreaking for fans, a true gut punch, but in the brutal, unsentimental business of the NFL, sometimes the most painful decisions are, paradoxically, the most necessary for long-term health. Finally, we consider a player who, while perhaps not carrying the same emotional weight or franchise-altering implications as Aiyuk or Williams, represents a more straightforward, yet still impactful, cap-clearing move, defensive end Yetur Gross-Matos. Signed in 2024 on a 2-year, $18 million deal, Gross-Matos had a respectable 4.0 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, and 7 QB hits in 11 games last season. These are solid numbers. But with a $9.47 million cap hit for 2025 and the recent high-profile additions of free agent Bryce Huff and promising rookie Michael Williams to the defensive line, Gross-Matos may have simply become expendable. The depth chart has shifted, and his role might be diminished. If traded or released, the 49ers could free up approximately $7.8 million in cap space, a significant chunk that could be reallocated to other pressing needs. This move would also clear a spot for younger talent to develop and contribute, fitting into the team's long-term vision. Gross-Matos' physical traits, at 6 feet 6 inches and a robust 270 pounds, are undeniably enticing, and teams across the league are always in desperate need of pass rush help in today's quarterback-driven NFL. 2 squads in the NFC North, the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers, immediately come to mind as potential trade partners, both in need of defensive line depth and additional pass rushing prowess. This move, while less dramatic than the others, highlights the constant churn of an NFL roster, where even recently acquired players can quickly become commodities to be moved for financial flexibility or to make way for new, emerging talent. It's a testament to the cutthroat nature of the league. So, as the San Francisco 49ers brace themselves for the crucible of training camp, they face a summer fraught with difficult, often agonizing, choices. General Manager John Lynch and his astute team are tasked with navigating a treacherous financial landscape, forced to consider moves that could reshape the very identity of their championship contending roster. The potential trades of Brandon Aiyuk, Trent Williams, and Yetur Gross-Matos underscore the brutal, unsentimental nature of the NFL, where even the most talented and beloved players can become trade chips in a relentless pursuit of cap health and sustained competitiveness. It's a stark, painful reminder that in this league, the business never stops, and sometimes the hardest decisions are the ones that must be made to keep the dream of a Super Bowl alive. The pressure is immense, the stakes are sky high, and the entire football world is watching. Now, 49ers faithful, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on these potential trade candidates? Which player, if any, do you think the team should move to alleviate their cap crunch and secure their future? Or do you believe they should hold on to their stars at all costs, even if it means sacrificing future flexibility? Let us know your take in the comments below. Share your pain, share your hope. And if this deep dive into the 49ers offseason dilemmas resonated with you, please hit that like button and share it with every NFL fan you know. Your engagement fuels our passion to bring you these exclusive insights.